Good morning, Karen.
Morning. How are
Good morning.
you? How's everybody?
Good. My goodness, it's a very, very cold morning here
Nice and
in Las Vegas. Very, very nippy.
nice and crisp.
Nice and crisp. And I hope everybody out there in YouTube land is having a great afternoon. Yeah, it's about 11:30 here. So afternoon. We're coming on live today just to share some topics and talk a little bit again about reality and things that's going on in the world, and some shocking things have been happening. So Karen, you ready to get right on into it?
Definitely.
All right,
Definitely
let's
ready. Excuse me.
yes. So we'll get started with the first topic, and that is, my goodness, with
Right.
Shanquella Robinson. Her funeral is actually happening right now, um, in the Carolina,
Mhm.
and it's such a sad thing. But we're
Horrible.
going to talk about the case and what's going on, and so if the world doesn't know, we'll talk about it a little bit. Give you the basics about this case, and uh, in late October, Shanquella Robinson and some friends, well,
Alleged friends.
yeah, alleged friends, went over to Cabo for vacationing, a little vacation, and unfortunately, everybody came back except her.
Right.
But she did come back. She just came back in a box.
Right.
She had to be delivered to her family and her parents in a box coming back, but everybody else made it back intact. And now that the case is evolving, and it's just such a terrible thing how these young people over there in Cabo did her. And not only that, but
Mhm.
it was people
Mhm.
of her own,
Mm.
of our own.
Mhm.
Why would we do this
Right.
to this girl, just a bunch of animals.
Oof.
A
Yes.
bunch of animals. Who would do that? Then
Mhm.
the video has come out, watching one of the girls just pounding on her.
Yeah,
And
I
you hear,
can't. I won't. I won't watch
yeah,
that
I,
at
I
all.
I couldn't watch the video, but I did hear I wanted
Mhm.
to hear it.
Right.
And to hear her, now this is what gets it from me. There's a whole dude in the background recording this mess.
Mm.
You can hear a dude saying, "Qualify, at least fight back." And she's saying, "No, I don't want to fight back." A man, you know,
Mhm.
this is what's being raised out here of all these chumps
Mm.
that's sitting back with their phones,
Mm.
recording stuff. And you know what? Y'all recorded it and didn't expect that, girl to die. And she did. And what's funny is why y'all not posting the videos that y'all recorded?
Right.
Because had she not died, you'd have been posting them how you jumped on her,
Mhm. Right.
you know. So now it is suspected that, well, before I go completely on the next wave.
Mhm.
So she went over with one of the people that was there, a guy. His
Mhm.
name is Khalil, and that was actually her best friend, and her reason of going on this trip was for him, basically. And what's so sickening about this is he is the one who allegedly called the mother when all this stuff was going down. So they kind of got their story together, and how they're going to report that this something has happened to her. So the best friend, started getting his story together on Friday night. So something happened on Friday night, I believe. But he started making phone calls early, to talk about how what's going on. So his first call to her was, the mom was,
Mhm.
she's not feeling well. We were drinking and,
Lies.
and so because the last call that she had to her mother was that Friday night, and she was saying, Mom, we made it, and we're getting ready to have, tacos and some drinks, and
Mhm.
she said, I'll call you later. That call never happened to her mother.
Mhm.
The next call that came to her mother was Khalil calling and saying, what, she's not feeling well. It could be alcohol poisoning and, and all this do la 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 lies. Okay.
Mhm.
So now, all this stuff is going down. They done did whatever they've done to this young lady, and they grab her. Now the trip is over.
Mhm.
They grabbed her belongings, delivered her the belongings to the mother, and but they're like, well, where is she? Where is she?
Right.
What's happening? Well, she had, she's we don't know. We left her there. First of all, you left her there alive. Somebody left her there alive with food poisoning. That's
Mhm.
the first lie. That don't even make any sense. If my friend has food poisoning, why would I leave her there in a hospital? No, I'm staying with my girl. And
Until
however we got to
until
get
I can
home, is
until
however
I
we
can get
get
her
home.
parents there or somebody there with her.
Say that again.
I said until at least until you can get her parents there,
Yeah,
with her.
absolutely. So they come home, bring the mom the clothes, and they coming up with all these lies and excuses. They don't know where she's at. Well, now they found out that she died, but they don't. But they're saying she died from food poisoning
Mm.
because she was declared dead on that Saturday. What day is that? Let me get my days correct because I want to definitely give out factual information. From my old investigation life, facts is everything. So they got there on the 28th of that Friday. Her death was announced by the death certificate on Saturday, the 29th at 3 p.m.
Mm.
So they're saying, oh, she died from food poisoning. Well, this is where the catch happened. Mom requested an autopsy.
Hello.
And it comes to find out there was no food. I mean, there was no alcohol poisoning. None of that. She died from a spinal cord injury and a broken neck,
Mm.
which means that someone had beat this girl to death.
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
man.
mean, the stories have just gone on. I mean, just sick and horrific. So the friend Khalil, they say, had been
Mm.
going over
Mm.
every single day until they found out, the parents found out how she died. They haven't seen him since.
Ain't seen him since.
The girl who is supposedly or allegedly responsible
Mm-hmm.
for attacking, which we know she attacked her because you can see it on the video. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, she was being beat down by this girl. So you can say you didn't kill her or what didn't happen. At the end of
Right.
the day, they have video with showing
Right.
that you put hands on her.
Right.
So there it is.
And then
So
disturbing video of her not
yes,
wanting to even engage in that type of
and
activity.
she's naked.
Oh.
She's naked. So when did y'all do this? When she was just getting out of
Oh.
bed? But my problem is this. So you, my best friend, you just gonna let this girl jump on me?
Right.
You just gonna let this girl jump on me? I wish I would. We finna put matter of fact, we finna jump you. You put your hands on my friend. It's going down. We finna jump you.
um
And y'all know.
something else is there. I didn't know. Like I said, I won't watch the video, but
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
disturbing.
know that she was unclothed.
Yes.
How fucking oop, I'm sorry. How disgusting are these people?
Mm-hmm.
How disgusting are you? Oh, Oh.
And then all y'all showed the girl who was in the video beating her showed up at the mama house twice.
But what? Why the visits to the mom's?
Because no video had been shown yet. So they don't know what happened to her. They don't
House
know what happened. So these people really came back thinking
that they
that
what happened that
nothing was gonna come out.
what they thought was what happened in Mexico was going to stay in
Like
Mexico.
they in Vegas. What stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stay in
But
Vegas.
they should know better than that.
Right. Yeah, well, a death
Shame on
happened.
them, dirty dogs.
Yeah, oh honey, I don't
For
even dog ain't even a low term to even
right,
call
because
it.
I love dogs.
Right. That ain't even low enough. No, these are some disgusting people. And then you know what I recently heard is that the girl who was jumping on her has said that she's innocent, which we know you're not, but okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll only talk if you pay her.
Well, we talked privately,
Yes, we did.
and you know exactly how I feel about that. It sparks a whole nother conversation.
Yes, it does.
Um, but I'll leave it at I can't even leave it that. There's nothing I can say out of honesty that
Yeah,
won't be inappropriate.
right.
So,
And I think what makes us so drawn to this case is because we both have children who are at the age of 25.
yes, social children,
Yes.
not social children. They have friends.
Yes.
You want to think that the smiles and the friendships are real, you know.
Mhm.
And how devastating of a way to find out that it was all just a big joke, you know,
Right.
just a big joke. You can't, I mentioned this with the officers when we
Mhm.
were talking about accountability,
Mhm.
about how they break the law. They don't want to do one day in jail. They don't want to be held accountable at
Right.
all,
At
period.
all.
So maybe you don't feel like you killed her,
Mhm.
but you definitely had a physical altercation with her. You don't feel anything. You don't feel anything. Now I don't care what you have to say.
Right.
Actually, you can keep it.
Well, actually, too, it's been alleged that the Deasia girl who you could see, I think her name is
Okay.
Diogene or something along that lines. The girl who attacked her was telling people, "Yeah, I beat her ass. Yeah, I beat her ass." So you are running around talking about how you done jumped on this girl, and then you want to come back and play coward. And just to let you know, she has fled the Carolinas and went to
Okay.
Connecticut.
So she's left town.
Yeah, she's left town.
Well,
What you scared of? Because I'd stay there if a couple other of them have fled as well. No one has seen Khalil since this has happened. So since they found out the reason for it, nobody's seen him. Not only that, but these people have family in the Carolina, and some of the parents are saying, well, their parents haven't even reached out to me. These people have known each other for over, within a 9-year span, some 9 years, 7 years, 6 years. you know they know these people, and none of these folks have gone to this lady's home to offer any condolences. But you know what? I wouldn't either, because what you gonna say to me?
right.
What
Hello.
you gonna say to me? Because what's gonna happen is when I see your face,
Okay. Hello.
you might get knocked out at the door. So it really is best for them not to go see her. Versus the disgusting best friend that's sitting up over there for 3 and 4 days until they found out what's going on. You know,
Okay. So let me get How did this video become unearthed?
Someone sent, from what I understand, a source.
Mm-hmm.
One of them sent that video to a friend, and that friend actually got that video out. So one of them are saying they don't want to be responsible for leaking the video, which you should. Why would you not leak the video? Okay. Why would you not leak the video? You know what I'm saying? Or why would you not say, you know what, my friend is dead. My friend is dead. I don't care who gets this video. It
Because
needs to be shown,
because
you know. But yeah, that's how it got out. One of them, at the end of the day, sent that video to somebody else because that's the only way they were gonna get it. That's the only way that anybody could get it, is somebody there sent that video to someone in this, a friend, and that friend got it out. What I understand is honey, the people in the community are lighting them up. The great thing about this case, though, is that the FBI has finally picked this case up, which I hope they don't have Americas don't have any jurisdiction. What I hope they're sent back to Mexico where this crime took place. That's what I really hope. Extradite them back to Mexico and let them stand trial in Mexico, in my opinion. And they should go to prison in Mexico because this is where it happened. See how you like that? Because that's really why y'all left. Y'all did not want to go to jail in Mexico. Y'all sat there. My thing, oh, and they said it was alleged too that the maid had to find her.
my internet dropped.
Oh, you're there.
I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. Um, Back to what I was saying, it was stating that, alleged the maid found her.
Mm.
The maid found her in the room while they have, got all their stuff out and gone to another hotel by the airport.
Yeah.
Which is, I would expect that. You couldn't fathom this. You know what? This girl is dead, and y'all
Right.
left her there for dead, literally.
And no, let's just, let's not give them any. I don't want to give them any breaks at
No,
all.
no, go ahead. You
This
take the
girl,
lead on that.
you
Take the wheel.
know what? You murdered her.
Yeah.
You watched and you talked to her. She was disrobed and she was saying that she did not want to fight. And you murdered her anyway.
Yes.
And then you packed up, left her there, and went home to your families and hers and lied
Mm-hmm.
and lied and lied. And when truth was unearthed, you disappeared.
Yep.
And one of you has the nerve to say, I'm innocent. And if you want me to talk, you're going to have to pay me. How dare you? $1 given to her is disrespect. 1 penny given to her for whatever she's claiming to know, which is a lie, which is going to be riddled in protective words for herself, keeping her out of harm's way, trying to disassociate herself with this tragedy when you are 100% responsible, like every other person who was there watching, recording, and
Yeah.
talking and abusing her until she passed away.
Yeah.
You people
Yeah.
are disgusting. And now you think that you're going to be paid to tell your story. We have your story. You've already told us your story. You are worthless. You are
Right.
worthless. You are a liar. And nothing you say should be trusted. Period. You're
Yes.
guilty. And you can try to hold on to whatever little story you think you have, but I don't want to hear it. How about that? Now who has the upper hand? We don't care. Lock her up.
That's right. And she deserves every bit of it. They
Lock her
all
up.
deserve to be locked up. They're all accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
They're all accessory to a crime. And at the end of the day, I don't care what you did. You was in that room with that girl and y'all sat there and did nothing. And they said what really happened is too, one of the girls picked her up and dropped her on the floor, like just threw her on the floor. And there was no more life of the body then. So there's supposedly another video, but we haven't seen that video yet because there was multiple people recording. Now
Right.
you are us. Let me tell you something, and this is where I go mother rogue. Is this that woman is going to have to always see her child naked being beaten by this animal. That is on the internet. That
Okay.
ain't going nowhere.
We
She has to see the last moments of her baby being beat down by a coward when she's telling you, I don't want to fight you. That
yeah.
girl was no threat at all. She's saying, no, I don't want to fight. Now, see, them the type of chicks that I want to see. Because, see, you couldn't hold a pen back in the day. Well, back in my day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know how I go. You
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hold a pen. Because, see, the first time we were so quick with it back then. Ain't no arc. See, they sit up and say, you want to go? You want to go? I want.
Yeah.
No. See, by the time you said you wanted, your mouth would have been cracked.
Mm-hmm. I didn't already made the decision to protect myself.
Thank you. Your mouth would have been cracked.
But
Because if you run up in my space, it's going down.
well, she thought she was amongst friends.
And
You
that's
know,
true.
that's they're predators.
Absolutely.
Absolutely predators.
Absolute predator.
And she thought she was amongst friends, and she thought she was amongst people who cared about her. And even at a glimpse notice, when okay, nobody in this room,
Yeah.
because she had, nobody in this room is looking out for me.
Nobody.
That is compounded by you're in a whole nother country.
Oh my God.
And
Can you
so
imagine?
this is what and I don't know how this goes, and I don't know that, how this works, but just from listening, especially about her bragging about this, oh, I did this to her and I did that to her, gives me the impression, and this is no way trying to shield anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but it gives me almost an impression that maybe they did believe that she was alive. I know that they did not believe and have any idea or any belief that she had alcohol poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
But something gives me the impression that somebody thought that she was alive, and maybe she was for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Um
Well, they did say a nurse had came.
mhm,
Somebody called the nurse, and they're saying that a nurse had actually came to see about her. So I think there's going to be more details with
right,
this. So you know, I don't know. The nurse could have been with her,
right,
and then that's when they found out. Oh, well, she's dead. You know what I'm
right.
saying? At the end of the day, you guys know
What happened to her?
what happened to her.
Hmm. Well, that
What a
leads
vacation.
right, and that leads us to how are we here? Now we are already facing gang violence,
Right. Right.
and the youngsters are dropping like flies
Oh my goodness.
at each other's hands.
You
Um,
know what? You know what I believe is, unfortunately, we're jealous at the wrong people. And we have this crab in a barrel mentality. and I've been there before. I think we all have been there before. You on the bus and you see this BMW drive by, you like, dang, I want
Mm-hmm.
that BMW one day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we've all had that emotion of jealousy. It's just how far you take yours. Because you know, um what has been said is that she was a successful person. She was building her business. She knew how to do hair. She was getting ready to have a modeling contract. So there, I believe there was somebody in that room hating. Somebody in that room hating. And to just be sitting there, what could this girl has said to you so bad to
Mm.
what you are just pounding on her head, and she's saying, I don't want to fight, and this dude in the back, Quella, at least fight back, which is great for an investigator because it shows that she did not defend herself.
Ugh, I just, it just,
She did not defend herself, which is going to make the charges even more.
I,
There's gonna be some, they're gonna throw the towel at them, and they should. But also, this needs to be a lesson for our community, like you were saying, is that, you know what, we're all not gonna be where we want to be. Some of us will. And at the end of the day, when we start realizing that money and material things don't heal you, yeah, you'll be all right. Because if if that is what rolls your boat, you being able to go buy a $2,000 Louis Vuitton bag, or you gonna being able to drive this and drive that, if that satisfies you, then that's fine. A lot of times it don't, because at the end of the day, you wearing your purse and looking at folks to see if they see looking at you.
and a lot of times they're not looking.
We're not looking.
You're not looking.
We're not looking.
It.
Just to be honest with you all, and I
Yeah.
hope there's some people really listening to this and you get some healing from this. We're not looking at you. Actually, I'm looking at how stupid you look, because you done walked up in a dang on. Well, look, I'm getting ready to go to a whole nother place. But look, because I done seen it with my own eyes. Y'all walk up with this foolishness on you. If the name means so much, create your own and wear your own name. That's when you start talking about generational wealth to me.
Well,
Make your own bags, sell your own bags, do your own stuff. Y'all are so busy trying to put somebody's other name on your back, who really has told y'all can't afford my stuff. But thank you, though.
right. Hello.
But thank you for spending your money.
Hard earned money.
Right.
Could go anywhere and own anything else.
It's not to go too far out, but I remember I met an attorney, a
Mm-hmm.
black attorney, and he really opened my eyes to something,
Mm-hmm.
because and he said to me, I never had no man had ever said this to me. And we were just having, some cool conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, he said, yeah, he said, black women drive luxury cars all the time and ain't got $5,000 in their pocket. If the tire goes flat, they can't even afford to fix the tire.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that hit me like a ton of bricks. It did. It hit me like a ton of bricks. That a lot of people are out here driving these cars, and you can't even afford to go buy a dang on tire if something happens to the tire.
Or have the car
Serviced.
and or have the car before you even get there. Have the car, you can't even get it registered.
Right.
Have to ride around on a paper tag for 6 extra months to pull up the registration fees. Where
Because
is
you ain't
where
lying.
where is they doing that at?
Because I
You know?
remember when I bought my car years ago, and so I can imagine what the rate is today.
Hello.
Years ago, we're talking over 10 something years ago. My registration was $700.
Boom.
$700.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine for these newer versions and
Oh
all that,
yes.
what it costs just to
Mm-hmm.
go register your vehicle.
Just to register. And you know what I figured? At some point, the car people
Mm-hmm.
recognized that, so they started throwing in that first year's registration
Mm-hmm.
when you got
And
something new.
technically, they're not throwing it in; they're putting
Well,
it in your
of
loan.
course not. But they started selling that line. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna throw in the first year's registration.
Yeah.
So, and people were eating it up
Yeah.
because that was a big problem they were running into. They've spent all the money on the down payment,
Right.
and now they've got this registration that they never thought of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so, yeah,
It's so crazy. Like I was driving, and let me tell you something with how we are our mentality. I was driving by a social services place. Now a lot of these jobs start out at about $40,000, and
mhm,
if you're there, you can get some overtime, whatever, and you can make some pretty good money. And you know who's in these positions now? Most black females are going into social work, psychology, so human services, which y'all need to stop doing that immediately, because it's a dead end, job. And I'm just being honest with you. It leads to a lot of health issues, and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, and I'm speaking from experience. If anybody want to know, you can always hit me up, because at the end of the day, I am a licensed social worker, and I've been that, so I can speak from experience. And we're talking 20 years in the game. But
hello.
anyways, um, I drive by the social services building, which is predominantly us that's working the positions, and we ain't in leadership, but
Oh,
we're
but
working.
we working hard.
Yeah, we work in the positions, but you're not in a leadership position. Okay. Almost every car in the parking lot was either a Lexus or Mercedes or a BMW.
Mhm.
And I said to myself, wow, we'll never see wealth for our children. Because I'm going to tell you something, wealthy people drive those type of cars. Wealthy. And don't get me wrong, I've always been a person. I like luxury. I'm a for Libra for real. I like luxury. Just have.
Mhm.
It's always it's in me. I've
Mhm.
always driven luxury cars. Not that's just because of what I like. But also I had to grow up as well, because I used to get a brand new car every year for my birthday. Dumbest shit I've ever done in my life. When you know better, you do
You do
better.
better. Yeah.
Girl, the joy I felt when I paid my first car off. Now I'm over here scratching my head to my Lord have mercy. I don't even, girl, what would I ever do again if I have a car note?
Right.
What? The freedom
Hmm.
to know that I ain't got no payments. Do you hear me? But anyways, it just breaks my heart how we do each other over material things, over she got all these degrees, and yeah, but that girl worked hard for them degrees. You don't know what somebody did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's her journey.
And let's stop with that attack on each other when
Thank you.
nobody giving us nothing. If you
Right.
see that she's successful, know that they whipped her butt for that.
You better
She
say it.
went through it. Blood, sweat, and tears. She
Listen.
went through it. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Listen.
They did not just weren't handed it. They're not
Right.
lucky.
Right.
They had to put up with.
Let me
They
tell
had
you
to go
something.
through. They had to bust down.
And
You
not
know?
when I was working on my graduate degree,
Mhm.
my appendix ruptured. I was in the hospital. They just had the surgery. I was in the hospital writing a paper with my laptop in the hospital writing a paper.
Mhm.
So people don't know what you go through They don't know what you go through to get the task done. But
Right.
all you see is what you think you see because of what you put in your mind about a person.
Right.
Because a lot of people, I don't walk around with degrees on my chest. I have them,
Oh,
but I don't walk around with that because let me tell you something. I've been in a hospital, okay? And when you walk in a hospital, nobody cares about the degrees that you have. You are there to receive the same services as everybody.
and the
Nobody
only
walks in the door and say, "Hey, Miss Carol, what kind of degrees you got?"
wait a minute. The only worry about the degrees is the patient coming in there worried about the degrees that the doctor have.
Thank you.
Is your degree real?
Thank
Are
you.
you qualified? Did
Thank
somebody
you.
shove you through the system and now
Thank
you're
you.
caring for me? Do you
I
have some hidden issue with Black people and you're going
thank
to put
you.
that into my care? You
Thank
know,
you.
there's real issues.
Nobody cares about the car you drive. Nobody cares about the degrees you have. Nobody cares about the house you live in when you are in dire need of help.
Right.
Let me tell you something. On my way home this morning, I had an appointment this morning on a Saturday morning. Geez, but in the cold.
For
Um,
reason.
but I was walking around. I was driving close up by Canyon Springs High School. They were giving out food there. If I could tell you how long those lines were,
Mm.
every car type it was in those lines. So I'm
Hmm.
saying this to say, regardless of what you think you have or what you think people see, what God gives, He can take away. So, you
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know what the next day is gonna be like. You don't know. And it's crazy how what we do to each other, for things.
I
For
think that we just
things.
lost.
So the only way that I can get respect by you is if I show up in a Mercedes,
I think
which
we've
which I
lost.
hate Mercedes Benz anyway. I hate those cars. God, I hate them. Oh,
I
there's some
think we've
awful cars.
lost this originating factor of foundation is just care and concern for
Yeah.
other people, care and concern.
Humanity.
Yes. And it's great to think about it in the worldview. It's great to think about how people should be in it, and it's interesting to think about how we're been unjustified, but we've definitely lost that united care and concern for each other, where when we look at each other we see an enemy almost instead of
Yes.
seeing a friend, instead of seeing a brother, instead of seeing a loved one, even in some of our own families. Instead of
Yes.
seeing family and loved one, you see competition.
Oh,
You see,
girl.
you
Ooh.
see things like that. How did we get so lost as a unit,
Yeah.
as a people, as a
Yeah.
unit to love each other?
Yeah.
It has to be so outrageous, right?
You know what it is? Chasing after somebody else's life. I want that. And I'm willing to knock you off to get it.
And then I feel like to goes back to how we got there, which is the dismantling, you know,
Yes. Oh,
taking
we can.
opportunities away, taking things away and
Yeah.
leaving no replacements. And
Yeah.
so we have
I.e.,
uh,
I'll throw this dig in there, i.e., Black Wall Street, but okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
I really think that if you have the children, if you have the young people, if you have somebody around, show some love, show some honest love, care, and concern. That's contagious. When
Yeah.
somebody treats you well and somebody is nice to you, it's easy for you to turn around and be nice to the next person.
Yeah.
It makes it easier when somebody is speaking to you. Hey, how you doing today? I'm good. And then you look and say, hey, how you doing? It it opens up some dialogue, some smiling faces, something has got to shift in our thought process of how we feel about ourselves and each other,
Right.
because we are escalating to friends murdering friends.
Yes.
And that's different than this, which was already awful, this gang violence and street
Yeah.
stuff that's going on top of
Mhm.
the police taking us out at their every whim and fancy. We're just got the targets on our back. Even our mothers going into labor are being denied services and treated
Ooh.
poorly in the birthing rooms.
Well, Serena Williams can tell you about that.
And so I just want us to have some empathy, some real care and concern
Yeah.
about each other. And that way, if we would have that, one of these people would be able to say, this is what happened to her.
Yeah. Just don't have a lack of nothing. I think about when I was 25
Yeah,
and what I would have done. I don't know. I really can't answer that question. But what I do know is this. I'm not leaving my friend there.
right.
I'm not leaving my friend's body there. And you know what? And I don't know this either. Maybe they felt comfortable leaving her because somebody had already found her and took her body to the hospital, and you know what I'm saying? And they had her at the funeral home. So maybe they
No,
felt comfortable leaving. I
no,
don't know.
no, I'm not going to give them that because you lied about what happened. We have the video.
Absolutely. You're right.
So they made a huge grave disgusting horrible just a it was all it they messed up,
Yeah.
that they need to take responsibility. If they're not going to take it, they need to be held to the highest accountability, especially from those who surround them.
Right.
I like I said, I understand your having your children come and say I done messed up. Now I can't say that I understand them saying I've made one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make, right? But mistakes. And I know that you want to help them through everything. But murdering a friend,
Yeah.
hiding and fleeing and lying about it,
Yeah.
as a parent, and you're a parent, I'm a parent, we got kids around the same age.
Yeah.
How do you start to set this straight with your child? If your child was involved in
Mhm.
this type of situation, how do you start to set the tone about how we're going to get this handled
Well, the only thing that I would recommend is it's time for somebody to turn themselves in.
and tell the truth?
There's no way we can get around it. I'm not abetting you. I can't do that.
Well, what about,
Um
do you get them a lawyer? Do you help them in any other way than just saying let's turn yourself in?
well, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
I think everybody's entitled to representation. Because at the end of the day, everybody's lying. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know who's done what these people are telling their parents. Their parents weren't there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So their parents weren't there. And not only that, but these are grown adults.
Right.
These are
Right.
grown adults who have made grown choices.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and honestly, depending on what I'm hearing, is gonna definitely dictate if I help with a lawyer or not. But the first thing is this. What I do know is you was over there in Mexico, and you need to go turn yourself in to give up all information that you have, because this girl is dead.
Oof.
And what would you want me to do if that was you?
Okay,
What
I
would you want me to do if that was you?
well,
You'd want me to fight.
what
You
would you
want me to
want
fight.
what would you want the other people that were with you to do?
Come on now.
What would you want the other people that were with you to do? None of y'all have a heart at all?
No.
Hmm.
It's well, we know one of them don't. Well, two of them. Well, three of them, four, because it was
Ah,
a total of seven
it's,
of them.
it's,
But I
it's,
mean,
it's
well,
the number
damn, you
just
know what I
keep
mean?
climbing.
No, because y'all sat up. and beat this girl. Y'all beat her.
Yeah.
And then you got a girl. No, no, let me.
Yeah.
What kind of men are we raising?
Well,
This wimp
and I know
in the
this,
background
I'm
would
going to,
at least fight her back. Are you nuts? You should have been grabbing that girl off of her, saying, "Wait a minute,
right,
you going too far. What are you
right,
doing?
right, right. Like, yes,
She's not
absolutely.
fighting you back. Leave her alone.
Hmm.
She's not fighting you back. She doesn't want to fight you. Leave her alone. And if we all got to jump each other, then that is what it is. But I'm telling you, y'all ain't getting ready to keep jumping on this girl. Who makes the adult decision? Y'all all idiots?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, technically.
yeah.
But I mean, but again, humanity, it's lost. It's
Well, and
gone.
and everything is a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
Like you said, they got the phones out. They're
Yes.
recording, and
You're
and
not
on any
concerned
other
about this girl's. Y'all was so busy trying to humiliate this girl to where it backfired on you. And this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about these cell phones. Because you never know. Y'all, the first thing y'all do is you want to whip out a phone. How about you whip out some help?
right.
Call
Hello.
some help. Jump in the middle and stop that mess. I said, I ain't never seen so many Mitches in my life.
Mm,
Y'all raising these Mitches.
mm,
Just sad. Anyways, in the talks of humanity, what I did hear is that Kyrie Irving donated to the funeral
yes,
at
yes. He
an
made
amount
a
of
very
about
substantial, he made
$65,000.
a very substantial donation to her GoFundMe
Yeah,
account.
$65,000.
Hmm. Um, I also heard the rumblings after his donation was noticed from people asking where were the other ball players and why were
Mm,
they being silent. I
mm-hmm.
know I know it can be called messy,
Yeah,
right? To kind of link the two.
yeah.
But I was listening.
Well, you know
My
what?
eyes popped.
I really don't. I first of all, I think Kyrie Irving. That's just who Kyrie Irving is. That
True.
is who he is. I mean, he is such a giving person. Um, it's sad that all these people are not sticking with him. But well, we'll talk about that in a minute before we, get off. But
Mhm.
because honey, the black people have got on code when it came to Kyrie Irving, and we will
Hello.
stay on code. Um, because y'all ain't doing that to bro. Y'all ain't doing that to bro. But anyways, um, I don't know how I feel about all of them jumping in because I think I'm sick of the NBA players. I'm sick of all of them really because they've really showed us who they are. A lot of them don't really care about much, but they money and what they got going on. And you know what? And I can't blame them. A lot of them have worked hard for their money. They've worked hard. They did what they needed to do, and is it their responsibility to come back and take care of a neighborhood they didn't grow up in?
Well,
So, I mean, you did have Kyrie Irving. I mean, the donation that he gave basically paid for the whole funeral and more, I'm sure.
well, here's I no. Nobody is responsible for giving back.
Yeah,
It's a choice.
right. Absolutely.
It's a choice where I'll step in and say, when you're in the public eye and you choose to do things,
Yeah,
then and we notice them, we also notice what you choose not to do.
that is true.
So I'll just leave that there. We see you. We see you. We see you.
Right.
So you can I think it was Michael Jordan who really started with the I don't get into the political
Yeah.
situations and I don't get into the current event drama and
Hmm. Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. And I don't know if he was paid to do that, or there's
Could have
those
been.
rumors that he was paid because his voice was very strong, and they just didn't want
But
him.
you know what? I get it with my when you're that big, everybody wants a piece of you.
Hmm.
Everybody wants a piece of you. And sometimes when people retire, they just want to retire. They don't want
Well,
to be on the lines of this, and this. Could he do had done better? Because yeah, you got folks going out there killing with your, killing folks over your shoes. And I think at that time the black community just wanted to say, you know what, bro, say something to these
hello.
young folks about your shoes. But of course, he said the wrong thing, which is, well, white people buy my shoes too. You know what I mean? So Michael Jordan is a very entitled man. Not to take anything away from him and what he accomplished, but he was a very entitled man, and he had a lot of power, in his day too. So basically what Michael Jordan wanted, he got. So, I mean, he have done something, yeah, but he's a wimp.
Well, I don't think anyone asked him to do anything.
I
Nobody
think people
asked him
did,
to,
but I think
well,
he just
nobody
chose
asked him
to.
to march, and nobody asked him to, but hey guys, I know you love my shoes. They ain't nothing worth dying over, and I don't want my people killing each other.
Right.
So please don't do it.
Well, you see what he's married to, so I mean,
So, and that's what I was gonna
it
say.
it makes a difference. I don't listen. I don't care what people say, but who you lay your head with at night is a choice, and you know
Very
what you're
so.
doing. And don't tell me, oh, well, you can't help who you love. Use a lie.
Well,
Use a
I
lie, because
let
you when you meet someone, you know what you are attracted to and what you are not attracted to. Love is intentional.
I feel this way. He, without stepping into that realm of it,
Hmm.
you are one of the wealthiest. We before Okay, so let's just start with before Oprah, before Michael Jordan, before Magic Johnson, before there, even as we stand right now, we
Hmm.
have more rich, considered rich black people than ever before
Absolutely.
with some money. So I I I understand being big. Even they said this about OJ
Yeah.
Simpson, about how he, like you called it, entitled.
Yeah.
Just had this but they always let you know.
Hmm.
But now the situation with Michael Jordan and the I feel like the profit that he made
Oh yeah.
has him in a untouchable. He can put his effort and preferences, and he can put it out there
Hmm.
without any fear of retribution.
Yep.
He can do it. So it's definitely a choice and a want thing, right?
It is.
But
You
it
know what?
shows you.
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Oprah, all of them. They can go start their own country, and we can all move to another country.
Okay.
That's how much money they have. But they have chosen what they want. They've chosen what they want. They know who's in control of America.
Well, I
And
just
they
want
stay silent
people.
on a lot of things. You talking about Oprah. I was watching, her show, her channel the other day, because there's some things that come on her channel that I really like to watch. And I said, Oprah's so tired that, all Oprah can give black folks now is a documentary about hair. My hair is empowering. Girl, do you know that there are people out here right now that can't afford to pay their rent because of inflation? And
Yes, you know.
all you can offer is a documentary on hair, black women's hair. Girl,
Yes, you
bye.
know.
What I
Yes.
want you to do is, since you like to do documentaries on people, i.e. Michael Jackson, you dirty dog. What I want you to do is, why don't you go over there and do some uh um documentaries on, what was his name? The one that got killed over there in prison. The one that got killed that everybody used to hang out with.
Hmm.
What's his name? They all hung out with him. Trump, all of them hung
Oh,
out with him.
Epstein.
Yeah,
Epstein.
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 Why have you
Mhm.
not done? Now you did a lot. This is for Oprah. Oprah, you did a documentary on Michael Jackson. You low down dirty heifer. You did a documentary on Michael Jackson. How come you have not done a documentary on Epstein? Because you know what? You've celebrated your birthday with him a lot of times on that yacht. We don't forget those pictures.
Okay.
Y'all was all hanging out with Epstein, and y'all killed that man so he couldn't give up the secrets.
Well, okay. So, okay.
Now
So,
we've totally went on the far end, but
right.
which is what we do because we have the real conversations. But
And what I will say, back to Michael Jordan,
yes,
I'll say he knows.
yeah,
He
no,
sees the shoes. He goes to the games.
mm-hmm,
But what really caught me was when they had a picture of him at the game
mm-hmm.
in a pair of Mary J. Blige wedge boots, sitting there. And I thought to myself, he doesn't even wear tennis shoes.
Wait, what happened?
He went to a game where you're relaxed. You're going to a game. You're not playing, you know. You're going to a game. You're relaxed. He had on a pair of Mary J. Blige wedge boots.
I need to find that because I do know that he had hugged me. Maybe she was there that night.
He had on a pair of boots at the basketball game.
Wait,
Not a pair of tennies. Not a pair of even sneakers. You know,
who
like
did wear? Wait, are you saying he had on a pair of wedge boots?
listen. I'm being funky. I'm calling them Mary J. Blige wedge boots. Yes, I'm being nasty.
Because they
Yeah,
said that night he had his hands all over Mary.
but he had on. This is at the game.
Let me see.
He's sitting courtside in a pair of boots, and I say, y'all are out here knocking each other off, standing in lines, paying $400 and $500 to $1,000 for a pair of shoes that this fool don't even wear to the games. He don't even wear them to the games. I
Does he
think that's
show?
I think that's odd.
Let me see if I can try to find it.
I think
I'm
it's just
trying to. I see a lot of pictures with him and Mary. I wanted to go find
no,
it, but
okay, so don't put Mary in, put Michael Jordan in. I'm being funny, calling him Mary J. Blige wedge boot. That's my nastiness coming out.
well, you're not. I mean,
Yes. Have you spotted what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. While you guys are out there pulling the trigger on each other, he's taking your money. He ain't even wearing what you. Is that not ridiculous? Do you see those boots? Do you see those boots?
Hold
Let's
on
not
just a
forget. Let's
second.
not forget he's already 6'3". It's just
I'm
ridiculous.
just kidding.
Yes, honey. I called him Mary J. Blige wedge boots. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I sure did.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Come
Are those?
on. Come on. You know I'm not crazy. I mean,
Oh my god.
and that just I'm just putting it out there for you guys that are raking in the cash for this man. He's at a legitimate basketball game in a pair of dancing boots.
I can't. Oh my God. This is the first time I've ever seen it.
Take
Wow.
it in. Just take it all
Oh,
in. Because
only you.
I couldn't get it out of my head. I must have made every nasty comment I could think of
Did you
till
say
I just
dancing
till I
boots?
just settled on Mary J. Blige wedged
Oh
boots.
God. I cannot with you.
Yeah,
I
but that's
cannot.
crazy to me.
Oh
That
wow. I
that
cannot.
they are in line, they are killing each other, are fighting each other, they're paying thousands of dollars, and he's at the game. Almost tells me he wouldn't be caught dead in a pair of Jordans.
He might not.
You know what I'm
Might
saying?
not.
I
He
mean,
might. He might not. He may not make it either.
I said, I just don't understand that. But okay.
Mhm.
They don't even look relaxing. They're not even comfortable looking.
No, they actually look a little worn out.
Or because he, like a sneaker would look if he wore sneakers, right? Clearly, he's rocking these boots.
But you're right. You are absolutely. Wait, and then the girl says, while y'all struggling to get them 11s, Michael Jordan chilling in his Mary J. Blige No More Drama
Oh,
wedding.
no more drama.
I'm not dealing with y'all and
Not no more drama.
oh God. Unfortunately, I got a pair of retro
Girl,
13.
everybody, like, look, he done sold them to everybody.
Right.
All I'm saying is,
I can say in my defense, my brother bought me a pair.
right, all I'm saying is, can we get some updated pics in him in a pair?
Right.
Or do he know something we don't know?
Right.
Like, okay.
I mean, that is true though. Hey, you got all these shoes and you don't even rock your own shoes to the game. That would be a marketing
I,
tool, wouldn't
I
it?
mean, or that would be where you wore your tennis shoes, right? To
Right.
a
Hello.
game, a relaxing game.
Yep.
But no, he got on his business boots.
That's crazy. And you know what?
Okay.
But this tells you that Michael Jordan don't care nothing about nobody. Michael Jordan cares about himself. But it shows you he was so selfish with his own wife. All she asked him was, listen, get your life together. Figure out what you're gonna do. I sacrificed, we agreed. Okay? We agreed that when you were done playing basketball, that we were gonna do something different. Here you go. Now you're playing baseball. Now you're trying to golf. Now you're doing all these things. Sit your arse down. That is all I asked you to do. He couldn't do that. You know what? And it ended up costing you a whole lot of money because
Yeah.
baby Juanita said, I'm out.
Well, here's my thing. It would have been cheaper to keep her.
It would have been.
He did not want her any
He didn't.
longer.
He didn't.
And that's awful.
He wanted what he got
Um,
right now, and we know what that
and,
is.
and whatever that is, what he wanted
Mhm.
was the freedom
Yep.
to do what he wanted to do.
As they
And
all
I
do.
and I see that in the Giselle and Tom situation,
Mm-hmm.
which was that they let go of a whole lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
for that life that they had before, during, and with this person. That career, like you said, he's gone from basketball to baseball, and I don't think he was good at anything after the first retirement. I don't think he struck a good thing in baseball. I think he does okay golfing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think he could do it professionally.
Right.
And then he tried to do basketball again, and those guys were just too dominant,
Yeah.
for him. And so it's your time, but it just boils down to, when it's time to go home and you're really faced with going home, do you
Mm-hmm.
like who's there? Have you
You know
guys?
what? All they want is a candy piece. like the rest of them. They want a candy piece, somebody that's got a body okay. You know what? It's so sad. It's so sad that this is what they want. You know, his wife, a formal model. You know, I'm sick of all this old foolishness. It. Mm,
Well, she met him and became a former everything.
right, of course.
Yeah, no more
Of course.
working. No more
Of
working.
course. Now you know they say Larsa Pippen is dating his son.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, you dirty dog, you. Just dirty. You over there buying the boy Lego trucks and shit back in the day. Now you're sleeping with him. I'd say,
Okay.
girl, I
You know
know,
what? Okay,
but
but listen.
you know what? This is what y'all want, and this
Yeah.
is what y'all go after.
And
This
this
is
and
what you
and
want.
she runs in a circle where this type of behavior is expected.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just too old for her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In my book, he, how that it was gonna fizzle out. That was
Mm-hmm.
just not gonna work out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's more, and right, buying them Lego, you so crazy, buying them Lego trucks.
Mm-hmm.
um, there's another conversation to be had that you know, and which gets back to the conversation, where how do we get here? You know,
You know
the
what?
the
What I
lack
can
of
say is this,
empathy and love and concern and care
and
for
you
one
know
another.
what? Inclusion,
Right.
and inclusion, and we don't have to fight anymore. Well, which has totally changed the game, because we're still fighting for things that we thought that we were done fighting for in the 60s.
Oh
So,
no.
you
And
know,
and and let me just drop this little bug on you, because I don't know if
mhm,
you heard this, and
go
I don't
ahead.
want nobody mad at me,
Hmm.
but they're giving reparations,
Oh yeah,
but not to black
California,
people,
lovely liberal California.
but not to black people.
Oh no.
I said, well, what happened to black people?
Yeah, no, no, no. Well, we know that, and you know what? And let me tell you something. Since we're talking about politics, um, I think again, people are catching on, especially black people, because I gotta stop saying people of color, because that's
Because that they
anybody.
done rainbowed us
That's
up.
yeah,
They
that's
done rainbowed us
anybody
out.
now.
Hmm.
So it's so disgusting. And what's funny to me is this: a lot of people didn't even know that Democrats had control of the House over the last 2 years. They've had the control of the House and the Senate.
Hmm.
So I will ask again, why has there been no black hate crime bill? I'm gonna keep asking that. Is it intentional? So my question is this: why do y'all still keep going out there voting for these people when they keep slapping you in your face? So you mean to tell me uh um California is getting ready to start giving reparations to trans people?
Hmm.
Are you nuts? Are you nuts? I would never live in California. I would never purchase anything in California. I would not. This is how you gonna spend my money?
Yeah,
You guys,
reparation.
you people are sick. You people are sick. Now they have started a reparations bill for black people in California. So I can't just say that, but we get
Well,
a
let me
big,
tell you that. What about this? How about I just jump in and say,
yeah.
I don't know about transgender, but we've been around a long time.
Oh yeah.
So
How many years has it been?
why we not first?
Yeah. We'll
Why we
never
ain't
be
at the
first.
first of the line? Why are you as the LGBT? I don't like to be disrespectful, but why are
Mm-hmm.
you guys as a community okay with skipping the line?
Mm-hmm.
You want everybody to support you guys, but why are you
Mm-hmm.
guys not supportive, and you're gonna skip the line of why aren't you guys? It blows my mind the amount of separation they throw at Black people, LGBTQ. You know, you want to divide us as a unit.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, Black trans matters.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
you know, that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
That's a way to disintegrate our support for one another and lose sight and start focusing on something else. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I
Well,
don't
you know what
care.
that they say, what they've always been able to do with black people, and this is why it's so hard for us to stay on code, is because of that good old divide and conquer.
Yeah.
If I can get them thinking about how they can destroy each other, we're in there. And that tactic has worked forever. Divide and conquer. And if you don't understand that, then there's a problem. We really have to learn what divide and conquer means, and we need to know when it's happening. So when you're on your jobs, y'all need to get together and stick together.
Okay.
But we'll wrap that up with Shanquella Robinson. I'm praying for her family.
Yeah.
I am I want these thugs, because this is the
Yeah.
definition of a thug. When you do this type of behavior, I want them to be brought to justice. This girl needs justice at the end of the day. And I really hope they extradite them back to Mexico. Where it happened, y'all thought y'all was gonna get off. Go ahead and send you back.
Yeah. Right.
Send you back.
And
Send you back.
I'm hoping for justice and healing for the family, you
Hmm.
know, however they can get it. I hope they get it. But I
Hmm.
also want justice. And I want us to cheer it as a
Hmm.
community because we all have friends.
Yeah.
We all have friends that we trust with our children, that we trust with our lives, our car, our parents. We trust people. Some of us don't have many friends. We
We
have a very
don't.
limited circle of
Hmm.
people. And to be betrayed is something that's awful and hard to deal with. To be
Yeah.
betrayed in that way, disrespected and abandoned,
Yes.
deserves for us to rally around her family and her and
Absolutely.
support them being brought to justice, support them being prosecuted and serving their time, and
Yes.
not thinking of it as turning our back on our own. We are definitely holding our own accountable for
Hmm.
murdering someone and then lying. It's atrocious.
Yeah, it
So
is.
I just want us to just kind of, like we are on code, seems like with
Hmm.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
I really want this message is not just to them, it's not more to the masses. I think we're all on the same page when
Yeah.
we heard this story.
Yes.
But this is more to the people that are surrounding the other young people that are involved. They
Absolutely.
are lacking the guidance and the care and concern and the support that they need to make this right.
Right.
And so it's easy to just say, bring him to justice, make him pay. But I want the people that are closely surrounding them to give them what they need to make this right. We are all waiting.
Yeah.
We are all waiting on the right thing to happen. That's going to take
Absolutely.
other members in the community pushing them to do the right thing. So,
That's right. You are absolutely right. So we will definitely, you guys make sure you guys are praying for this young lady's family. As a parent, I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine, because I'm not that disciplined when it comes to my children.
right,
Like I got a lot of them. But I'm just not disciplined with my kid. And you know what? I don't know what I might do. I don't know what I might do. I probably would take justice in my own hands. And wherever that leads me, it'll be what it is. Because at the end of the day, at least I know what happened in
right,
the end. I ain't got to be I nobody will have to worry about if shoulda, woulda, coulda, what did happen. No, you gonna know what's gonna happen when by the time I'm done.
Okay. Ugh.
So yeah, so we'll leave it at that. One thing I do want to touch on is the 10-year-old boy from
Oh,
Pennsylvania
yeah.
who was oh my God, such a sweet, sweet little boy, very smart, who
Hmm.
was almost abducted. But he wow, just a smart,
Yeah.
smart kid.
He had
He
to
was able
come.
to evade.
Hmm.
You can tell the story, Karen.
Oh, well, yeah, he had
Yes.
the common sense when this lady was following him and offering him gifts or anything he wanted from Wawa, which is the equivalent to Walmart, here on the West Coast, East Coast. And so his dad had told him that if this exact thing was to happen to him, he needed to go into a store he was familiar with and ask for some help. This lady is side by side with him, talking to him. He makes a quick right into a store that he was familiar with. He walked behind the register and asked the cashier to pretend to be his mother because he didn't know the woman that was waiting at the door for him with the door open. He did not know her, and he didn't know what she was trying to do. The cashier quickly put herself in between him and her, shut the door, locked it, and the assailant took off. The female assailant took off.
That's right. Let's see if I can bring that video up.
It's just so many things I could say about that, starting with the wow, a woman. Come on, ladies.
Yeah.
You know, um, I've been hearing more and more stories of the woman predator. Um,
Yes.
but that was pretty brazen, really brought it home to that
Yeah.
this is a real thing. What was she going to do with a 10-year-old little boy? You
Hmm.
know, yeah, yeah. So
He was awesome. He
yeah,
was
quick thinking.
absolutely awesome. His father had told him the right thing. He had told him, what to do. And this is a great opportunity for parenting.
Hmm.
You know, we talked about this, when our kids were young and you're younger, those are some things that we just forget to talk about
Right,
with our children. We forget to talk about with our kids. You know what? When you're walking home, don't talk to. I mean, we get the simple "don't talk to strangers," but
right.
what do they do in the instance if someone does come up to them?
And
What do
cross
they
that
do?
line.
Yes, absolutely. So I think we give them the basic stuff, but we don't tell them what to actually do.
Right. And
You
it
know.
also was very interesting that they had this set up. You get somewhere that you're comfortable with,
Hmm.
and you ask for some help. And I'm talking about he did the right thing because this woman was at the door holding it open waiting on him.
Yeah. Well, you
Okay?
know what? Let's hear from him, because here is Fox 29 News talking about the story. So
Mm.
let's just put it on and let the people hear um what happened. I think it's great. So give me 1 second. I hope that they're able to hear this because it's very important. Are you able to see that?
I am.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Other children.
I can hear it.
Shaking at first. 10-year-old Sammy Green of Pottstown describing a scary, creepy encounter with a stranger during a walk home from school on Friday afternoon.
She was like, I'm going to Wawa. Do you want to come with me? Are you going to Wawa? What are you getting?
Sammy says the woman followed him for a couple of blocks on High Street. She asked him where his family was. The smart, quick thinking fourth grader executed a getaway plan, ducking into a store, asking the clerk for help.
So he came in and he was really panicked.
The interaction was captured on Danny B. Funky's store surveillance.
And he like whispers, and he's like, "This lady's been following me like on my way home from school. Can you help me?" Basically, he tells me, he's like, "Oh, like pretend you're my mom. Like pretend you're my mom."
Then you can see the woman walked away.
I was fine until I saw that video. And then when I see my son walk over to Hannah and whisper to her, then I broke down. That's when everything hit me. Really scary, really scary. But he handled it very well. I'm so proud of him.
How did you think of that plan so quickly?
I, it just came to my mind.
Sammy's dad says they've discussed stranger danger a lot, focusing on this very scenario. They're regular customers at Danny B. Funky's, but now they say it's more than a store, they're family.
He was so
Wow.
thankful. He was like, "Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were smart enough to come here and come somewhere that you felt safe."
How amazing.
Right.
How amazing. And you
And
can see
but
that nutcase.
also,
You can see that nutcase.
right.
Let me clarify something. On the East Coast, the Wawa is like our 7-Elevens. Wawas are like regular stores, but they have a little bit more stuff in the stores. Like you can go in there and get hot foods, and it's a big. I mean, they have the best sandwiches on the planet, in my opinion. But that's what Wawas are. They're like bigger convenience stores,
Mhm.
and we just don't have them out here like that. So it would be, we don't have, yeah. I'm sitting there thinking, is there one that I can think of? But yeah, Wawas. That's what the Wawas are over there on the East Coast. So they have a lot. They're all over.
It also it just like, they go somewhere, there's somewhere that he can go on their walk home from school.
Hmm.
There's so many teachable moments in
Yes.
there where he educated his son, to
Yes.
and though his son can't say, well, this is, but those things come in your mind. I need to do something,
Mhm.
and he did just that. And
Yeah.
I feel like we could all, especially if you have some grandkids, some younger children, just let them know. And if there is a store on the walk home
That's
or
right.
a family member's place on the walk home, make sure they know where to go. Make
Yes.
sure they know who to call on for help that is going to help them. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, just make sure they have some options.
Yes. I remember when we were talking about another case. There was another case I remember seeing where there were some little black children
Mhm.
who were let me see if I can find that. Um oh, when was it? Because I know it was at least a year ago, over a year ago, where there were some black children. Mother, she kind of worked a little early, so the kids would walk themselves to school in
Mhm.
the morning. I think it was 2 or 3 children that she had, and they would walk themselves to school. So on this morning, they were abducted by a typical white van. Y'all be careful of those white vans. But hate to be stereotypical, but that's
Right.
these kids, these white and black vans that you see, caravans. And
Hmm.
so this white van picks up these children. I mean, just grab the kids. And thank God, honey, that the van ran a red light. And so
Hmm.
the police, went after the van. And so they're looking, in the back of the van, and they see these black children, and they see these two white people with these children. So they say, well, this just don't look right. And so
Hmm.
one of the little boys in the back was saying, is with like moving his mouth, he's saying like, we don't know these people. We don't know these people. So thank God these children were able to be returned home to their parents.
Yes.
And they actually did arrest these people for the attempted abduction of these children. And the question that I had, when we talked personally, what
Mhm.
are they plan to do with these children?
That is what I should not, it's one thing when you think about that, you think about maybe some kid alone,
Mhm.
walking like that. but it's never a woman, you
Yeah.
know. And then you think some maybe kid in the park where there's, or something like that. But to me, to snatch 3 kids, 2 and 3 kids
Yes.
that are speaking age, fighting age, that is scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
That brazen. She was standing there holding that door open,
Yes.
waiting on him to return.
Yes.
And so she
And
had no fear.
she stood there
Yeah. And
like
she's
she
gonna
was
get a
waiting
kid.
on him to come back.
She's gonna get a kid if she's not picked up.
Yeah.
She's going
Yeah.
to get a kid. And
Yeah.
that's sad to say, but I wish, we had a way to identify her or something, because she's going to get a kid.
Yeah. I hope that they have some cameras on
Mm-hmm.
the outside on the streets
Mm-hmm.
to catch her, because you know the store's cameras were awesome
Mm-hmm.
because it caught her body. But and hopefully the store, they can go look and see who this lady is, because you're right. And you know what's sad, and look how you entice these children. Well, your mom told me, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
that we can go to the that I can take you to the Wawa. Well, let me tell you what probably sent up his antennas. They didn't mention anything about his mama in that video clip.
Nor did they show a mama.
Didn't even show a mama. So this boy knew that this lady was lying.
Hello.
He knew, because he know somewhere his mama ain't somewhere in the picture.
Right.
So he knew, why would my mama send you, lady? You lying,
Mm, mm,
lady.
mm.
You lying about something.
Well,
Your mama, see. So he was smart to know this lady lying and she following me. But
mhm,
again, what is it that you plan to do with this 10-year-old baby?
right.
What was your plans for him? Oh,
Exactly.
Johnny.
And so she needs to be picked up before
Yes,
she
she does.
actually can finish what she has planned for
I
whatever.
hope they find her, and this needs to be on the news everywhere. She
Yeah.
needs to be found. She needs to be prosecuted for attempted abduction of a child. You
Whatever
know,
she's trying to do.
because you can clearly see on that video where she was standing there for him to come back.
Right. And don't know him from a can of paint.
She didn't take off when he went in that store, because a,
Mm-mm.
a person of a sound mind would have just taken off, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This boy ain't dumb. He walked into a store and you stood there like a
And wait.
clown,
No, she stood there. Not only did she stand there,
holding the
she had
door.
to hold the door up, and the lady had to close it on her.
Yeah, you wanted him so bad, which means she's been watching him.
Yo, that's scary. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that.
she's been watching him. That's what these people do. They sit there and they find a target and they watch you for the right time. They know when you're going here, they know when you're going there, they
And when
know
you
when
be
you're
hiding.
going. This is what they do.
Well,
So, let that be a learning lesson to us, those of you who are still raising children, grandchildren. I don't
mhm.
have any grandchildren, hallelujah, because right now I'm not ready. But but tell your family, your friends, let's talk about those stranger danger situations, because it is important. It is
And it
important.
is
And it
not
is a
just
determination of you getting home.
and it is not just I lost my puppy, or do you want some candy? These are or a creepy man, where you would assume this is a lady, that is stalking him.
Yes.
So yeah, we need to pay attention. Pay attention to our surroundings, our kids, our loved ones, and you guys stay safe out there.
Absolutely. And so we're going to close it on that end. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, and we will be back with you hopefully sometime this week.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.